Hey everybody, this is Dorcas here with Dolphin DC Creations. I'm switching it up this week, or this past week I've been switching it up. I did some sewing for my friend's wedding, so I had like both my overlock machine out and my other sewing machine, my straight stitch is always out. But I had everything changed up from my scrapbooking stuff or my junk journaling stuff back to my sewing stuff. And I just wanted to show you. So I sewed a couple things for my friend. She had a wedding and we had to make some last minute things for her for the wedding. But then afterwards I started sewing for my granddaughter. I'm going to have a new grandbaby probably on the 24th. If not on the 1st of July. So we'll see how long her mom can make it. But they've got her scheduled for an induction on the 24th. And so her name is going to be Victoria. And I started sewing for her because I'm lazy and I hadn't sewn because I'm so consumed by the junk journaling stuff. I'm so excited about that. So I made these 9 patches and I'm going to go ahead and cut them down and then reposition them, so deconstruct them and resew them back up. I have 12, so these will be one blanket. But what I did is I have some fabric and some material that I'm going to make quilts for her with, but I wanted to use up some of my scraps also. And for a long time, I have been sorting my scraps into color categories. So I have a big, like a 20 or 30 gallon tote with a lid that has Ziploc bags inside it that have my scraps color sorted. So I have pinks and turquoises and blues and greens and all the different colors. I have them all separated. And I used a lot of those scraps up when I did the scrap busting challenge on back last year in October. So I ended up with 2 quilts out of that challenge, which is awesome. But then I still have some stuff left. And that challenge used rainbow strips. So all kinds of rainbow strips, doing the color gradient on those. So I still had some pink and some grays, and I thought that would be perfect for my granddaughter. I ended up with 70 of these blocks. They are rectangular instead of square because that is all the fabric I had. And so I am going to go ahead and this was all the scraps that I had. I have more fabric that is just solid yardage that I might go ahead and cut down so that I could do the final 2 strips on this, and end up with an 11 by 11 block, which is what this right now is, 11 by 8. And so I ended up with 70 of these. Obviously my grandbaby doesn't need a quilt that big. This is a ginormous quilt, especially since when you sew it down, it'll end up being a 10-inch square when I cut them down. So 10 by 70 blocks, I have more than enough. But this is going to be a pretty decent size quilt. It's going to be 3 across and 4 down on the rows. And I have 12 blocks. I think I might have 13 because I always like to make like a cushion or a pillow or a bolster or something. So those are the actually planned blocks. And then afterwards, after I did all this, I ended up with some scraps. So I have all these leftover scraps. So I went ahead and I started piecing the scraps together. So I've got all these guys pieced together because I am going to go ahead and do an after quilt with it. I usually do something with my scraps. I use them to make bags and things like that. But I really like the idea of just get it done quilts for doing the after quilt. And I've pieced backs before, but not like this many. So I'm going to just go ahead and incorporate this into the backing for the quilt. So I'm pretty sure I will end up with about 3 quilts made out of my scraps in pink and black and gray. Pink, black, and gray. And so this was left over from my blocks that I made the very first year that I went to Quilt Retreat. And they were churn dashes, and these are what's left of my churn dash blocks from almost 3 years ago. All right, guys, I just wanted to share what I've been working on. Bye.